Yo, what's up, everybody? How's it going? So today's date is Saturday, April the 26th. It's about 2 a.m. here in the Philippines, and I guess it's Friday to most of you guys because I'm much further down the timeline. And I wanted to make sure to give you guys a 10-minute daily update before I call it a night. So let's take a look at the market. So for those that don't know me, welcome. My name is Philakone Crypto, and I've been in the crypto game for about 10 years now. I've seen three major bull markets and two major bear markets. And I really hope that the bull market ends up kicking off and continuing in an even more bullish manner than what we've seen so far. So just about myself, I'm heading back to Turkey in about 8, 9 days. So I'm not going to be working as much. I'm going to enjoy the rest of it with some friends and also sightsee and spend some time with my lady as well. Because I've been working pretty much every single day since I've got here for 3 months already. Haven't really had time to do much, so I figured at the end of the week I'm actually going to spend it just kind of sightseeing and also enjoying what's left of the vacation here for 3 months. Well, it's kind of like a work vacation. So let's jump right into the market. And by the way, the market has been incredible for day trading lately. We've seen tons of coins move to the upside in the past few days. And I really hope that this type of parabolic move to the upside or coins moving in a very bullish kind of way, it does continue to the upside. So right now, first thing I have to say right off the hop is that Bitcoin is most certainly at a resistance. This is probably a hard resistance for now. I misgauged it last time. As you can see here, over the past 81 days, this white line held as a major resistance that broke to the upside. Once it broke out there, it eventually hovered at 85K, got to 88,500, and then it broke up to the next resistance, which is around $95,000 right because of here. Okay, that's a very strong, significant resistance because from the low here to up there, Bitcoin moved up 21%. So because of that, it's a very significant resistance. So the count is in. Okay, there's basically going to be like a 5-wave count that's coming in very, very soon. So because of that, I personally think the next dip is going to be a very reasonable place to DCA. So I see this as basically a wave one. Actually, more so from here, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, probably a 5, there or there. And then I see this as an ABC, okay? An a B, a C. And now I'm seeing the 5 waves in already. You can see that the 5 waves is pretty much almost in, if not already. So that's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I originally thought that this was the top of the 5th wave, but now that we have a higher high, it's most likely the other way around. Okay, so this is probably the first wave in there. That's probably the 3rd wave being created somewhere up there. And because of that, we can see that the 5th wave is either in already or almost in. We can see that this has 3 fractals. And it doesn't get better than that, right? Just basically 5 waves, and then you're probably going to see a drop coming to the downside. So I think that Bitcoin is at a resistance right now around the 94,000, 95K region. And the best level of support is probably going to be around here. The next hit's going to be the channel. Why would it not be the channel, right? The channel has been very consistent so far. It's hit it multiple times. There, here, there. So very, very consistent channel. And you know, if you take a look at Fibonacci retracement, if it went a little bit higher, it'd be fairly reasonable to get to something like a maybe a 0.5 or even 382 Fibonacci retracement. And this is probably going to happen by the end of May. It's going to get there for sure. And then after that, let's see if it's going to continue upwards. That's going to be the big question, if we're going to form another impulse wave. So ideally, what we would like to happen is something like 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and then perhaps a 5. And then a retracement comes down. But at least this would confirm that it's an impulse wave rather than just something like an ABC corrective wave. Because once we have an ABC, we know the only direction that it can go is to the downside. And that we don't want. We want it to be an impulse wave. But of course, let's see how this next corrective wave is going to occur. Let's see if it's going to end up bouncing. I believe that would be a reasonable place to accumulate if we end up bouncing. Okay, I'm not really sure if we're officially in some sort of mini bull market season or if this is just a corrective wave up. Because for now, like we've seen this many times before, once the bear market begins, there's usually a corrective wave up and then a gigantic drop to the downside. So we've seen that in pretty much every single year so far, and I just don't want to be led to believe that we're actually in some sort of bull market when we don't really know yet. Okay, we have no idea. We know that after like a drop happens, there's sometimes a retracement upwards, right? And then like for example here it retraces like 382, but we haven't had like a substantial drop, and this is a very good retracement so far. Okay, like if you look to the other years, after we drop, like it retraces hard, right? You can see here it retraces to the golden ratio and then it falls back down, right? So golden ratio falls back down, but right now we're actually about the 0.5 Fibonacci level, so it's not really anything that scary yet. It's doing pretty reasonable, almost at the 618 golden ratio actually. So the last thing that we would want is for this to create like a lower high and then we continue down. That would be disastrous, and then that would pretty much end the bull market. So for now, it's looking fairly bullish, I do have to admit. We're seeing like a 4-day MACD crossover going upwards. On the weekly chart, it's actually trending to the upside now, which is great. It's starting to recover on the super trend indicator of mine, where we're seeing it green rather than red right now. So it is recovering in a very, very good way right now. And also on the monthly chart for the super trend indicator, we ended up bouncing before and we ended up bouncing again. So this is all very, very good signs, because usually it should trend above there, right? It should trend above the green line for all bull markets. This was a very scary one because we hit it many times, whereas in 2021 we actually only hit it one time and then we just kept going. So let's see how this is going to continue. It is a very scary market, though, I do have to admit. It's been 7 minutes already. I'm going to wrap it up soon. So in terms of altcoins, like there's been many that was doing very well. For example, Cetus yesterday was a very, very, very hot pick to be day trading. It ended up moving a substantial amount total of like 200% in a very short period of time. But it was a very difficult coin to trade. But you know, it did form things like a higher low, and then it broke out eventually. So this was a very good pattern to have traded. And if you look on the lower time frame, it does kind of the same thing today, right? Early in the morning today, it did the same thing where it was making like an ascending type of triangle. So the moment that it broke up, you could have easily longed it to trade the continuation. So there's been multiple coins like that. But of course, it's going to require you to hunt for coins to trade. It's going to require you to be very active on the computer. You know, there's been monster coins like Voxel, NKN, Broccoli, big time, that have moved hundreds and hundreds of percents. Like for example, NKN 258%, right? There's been coins like Jellyfish that have moved up a very substantial amount as well. And then there's also been a lot of crappy coins to have traded, like for example, People. So People is a brutal coin to have traded. If you guys were looking a few days ago, you'll have noticed this shitty thing that happened, right? You tend to want to avoid coins like that have moved up 51% and then it retraces back the entire full amount. Always avoid coins like that because they are just absolutely disastrous. And if you don't have the right skills to day trade, you're just not going to be successful in a very bullish type of market. I mean, you could get lucky and just buy and just hold, but that's going to be just pure luck. But compare that to somebody with skills in day trading, for example, myself, I'll be able to thrive in this bull market coming up much better than most people. So what I strongly suggest, guys, coming up on May the 1st, I'm going to have a 50% off sale on my new scalping course. I've never made a course like this ever before because this is only for low time frames. It's meant for intermediate to advanced traders. I do not waste your time by explaining the basics like what's RSI, what's MACD, right? I don't do any of that anymore. I jump straight into the new strategies and the new golden rules that I've created to ensure that I can trade in this upcoming bull market. Every single year, every trader is going to go through a revolution when it comes to their strategies. They're going to optimize it, they're going to fine tune it quite often, and they're going to make sure that it is heavily refined so they can adapt to the ever-changing landscape of how day traders need to adapt. Otherwise, they're going to get left behind, and the people that do adapt are going to do a lot better. So I created this scalping course of mine to do something completely new. I never thought of doing it before because I always thought it was too advanced and too difficult, but here it is. So definitely take a look at it. It's coming on May the 1st. There's a 50% sale from 500 to 250. If you're a current basic member or not even a member of Discord, you get upgraded to a lifetime membership right away. So you're getting tons of benefits just by getting the course itself. If you're a current lifetime membership, you get upgraded to the elite tier membership. So one tier higher, and I'll explain what the tiers are. And if you're a current elite tier member, you get 2 weeks to join me in the platinum tier. That's where you want to be. The platinum tier members will also receive 2 extra weeks in the platinum tier. Okay, so the difference in the groups is simple. The standard group, they only get basic charts and basic videos. Okay, the elite tier, higher group interaction, they get advanced videos and they get lots of trading calls and signals. The platinum tier, I live stream. I live stream my desktop and I live trade with the group so everybody can catch every single trade that I take as well. Okay, so you're gonna get a chance to get into my elite group, and that's where you want to be. You definitely want to be there. So guys, be excited for March or May the 1st. That's when I'm going to release it. I really hope you guys are going to pick it up because I know that time is running out, and the quicker you study, the faster this bull market picks off. You don't want to be left behind, guys. So I'll be back tomorrow to give you an update. Signing off from the Philippines. If you guys haven't subscribed to me on YouTube yet, I'd really appreciate you guys just helping out and click the like button, subscribe. And I'll see you on Twitter as well, where I do a lot of my updates if you haven't subscribed me. Thank you very much for your time and have a good night. Bye now.